Okay, so I'm a bit cross with myself today. I actually recorded this video a couple of days ago, but when I went to edit it, I realised I must have not pressed record because there was no record of it on the camera. So I'm doing this one all over again. Anyway, I'm not too worried. It's a great wine to be able to taste. It's a wine that makes me smile almost every time I taste it, so I hope it's going to make you guys smile too. So we're looking at a Riesling Kabinett. The wine that I want you to taste at this particular stage is a German example of Riesling Kabinett, because that means it is the earliest harvested of all the wines, of all the wine styles in the German Predikat system. Make sure you're familiar with that. It will be really helpful if you can go back and have a look at that in your textbooks at some stage. But as a result of being the earliest harvested, typically a Mosel Riesling Kabinett will be very high in acidity, and therefore they tend to balance that out with a little bit of sugar, so there'll be some sweetness in the wine. So this is a really good example to get you used to recognising sweetness in wine. You should find that it has very sort of green fruit characteristics, perhaps a little bit of citrus as well, very lively, light on the palate, not a huge amount of alcohol, so a nice contrast to some of the other wines, white wines, that we taste during this course. So find your Riesling Kabinett and let's have a look using the systematic approach to tasting. So pale lemon, very little colour in this wine. It's the earliest harvested, usually middle towards the end of September, so there hasn't been a lot of opportunity for colour development in the wine. So pale lemon. On the nose, okay, let's do our test. Let's start at the chin. Nope, can't quite smell it there. Yep. At the nose, let's go for medium intensity. It's pretty clear as I swirl it and put it to my nose, so medium intensity. Do you know what? No, I'm going to revisit that. Let's go pronounced intensity. That's more typical for Riesling, you know, and I can just about get it there. So let's go with medium intensity. I think if it was a Spätlese or if it was a Auslese, then absolutely no argument, we'd be talking pronounced intensity. But this is somewhere in between the two. At level 3, we'd say medium plus, but we don't have that option at level 2 systematic approach tasting. Right, okay. And the aroma characteristics: bags of green fruit, apple and pear. We've also got citrus fruit, lemon and lime. 4 characteristics already, so you can see straight away we're building some complexity. It's quite floral as well, isn't it? Honeysuckle, I'd say blossom too on here as well. So there's some more characteristics there. Even grape. It's not very usual we use the word grape to describe a white wine, but I think on this occasion we can say that this is grapey. And then we have got a little bit of honey. There's a little bit of age on this wine, so we would expect some bottle development and therefore some age. Okay, what's next? I was going to talk about primary, secondary and tertiary. So we've got no secondary characteristics on this wine at all. No oak, no evidence of lees contact, no evidence of malolactic fermentation. So it's purely primary fruit characteristics with a trace of tertiary. Remember that little bit of honey. Riesling sometimes develops a petrol characteristic with age, not in this one. We're not quite there yet with this particular wine. Right, let's try the palate. Okay, medium level of sweetness. Medium level of sweetness on this wine. Hopefully you picked that up. But again, lovely high acidity that really balances that sweetness on the wine. No tannin. Low level of alcohol. Remember, the fermentation on this wine was stopped before it was the yeast were able to convert all of the sugar into alcohol. So sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when you've got a sweet wine like this, you'll also get a low level of alcohol, because not all of it was converted into alcohol during the fermentation. Have a look in your books how fermentation is typically stopped or arrested by the winemaker. Just go back and have a look that up. Medium body, actually no, I'm going to go light body on this one. It glides over the palate very, very quickly. So let's go light bodied. Flavour characteristics, oh gosh, everything that we said on the nose. I reckon there's some peach and apricot in here as well though, so let's add in peach and apricot too. Long finish. So therefore our conclusion has to be that this is a very good wine. We've got length, we've got intensity, we've got complexity on this wine. The only thing it is perhaps missing is the really pronounced intensity that I would expect from an outstanding wine. So I'm going to put this into the very good category. I'd be very happy to argue with you if you want to go outstanding. We'll have a chat about that, and I'd probably go, yeah, all right, let's put outstanding down. So it's one of those that's a bit borderline. Nonetheless, this is a wine that makes me smile every time I taste it. I always put this particular wine in my courses because I think it's great. I hope you've really enjoyed that wine.